Good evening, and welcome to the Sleepy Bookshelf, where we put down our worries from the day and pick up a good book. I'm your host, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for choosing to be here tonight. This evening, we are returning to Anne of the Island. But first, take some time here to relax. Have a nice big stretch and give your body permission to release any tension still lingering from the day. Breathe in through your nose and fill your tummy with a nice big breath. Now sigh it all out. There is a quote that says, "To be who you want to be is to pay attention, but to relax is to be who you are." I invite you now to be yourself. Relieve yourself of any pressure to be anything more than what you are. You are good enough, and you have nothing left to do now but give yourself a good night's rest. Anne and Priscilla settled into life at Redmond within a few weeks, thanks to the help of their new friend Phil. She was popular with everyone she met and was diligent in bringing Anne and Priscilla into the fold with her. While she enjoyed the attentions of many a beau, she was both dismayed and overjoyed that Gilbert Blythe seemed to only have eyes for Anne. Gilbert used his charm and wit to become the president of the freshman class and gain an invitation to join the exclusive fraternity, Lambda Theta, or Lambs as they were known. It was then that Anne began to receive her letters from Avonlea. Diana's accounts made her feel right at home, while Mrs. Lynde told of all the parish drama with the substitute ministers they'd been sent since Mr. and Mrs. Allen's departure. One day, Philippa came to ask if she could accompany Anne and Priscilla for a walk in the park with Gilbert and Charlie. They stopped to appreciate the autumnal sunset, looking out over to William's Island together, before deciding to walk back via Spofford Avenue, the most prestigious residential street in Kingsport. Priscilla pointed out the first cottage on the road, truly picturesque and aptly named Patty's Place after the owner. Anne felt sure she would have more to do with that house before her time at Redmond was out. But tonight, the students prepared to go home for Christmas. So, just lie back and relax as I turn to the next pages of Anne of the Island. Chapter 7. Home Again. Those first 3 weeks at Redmond had seemed long, but the rest of the term flew by on wings of wind. Before they realized it, the Redmond students found themselves in the grind of Christmas examinations, emerging therefrom more or less triumphantly. The honour of leading in the freshman classes fluctuated between Anne, Gilbert, and Philippa. Priscilla did very well. Charlie Sloane scraped through respectably and comported himself as complacently as if he had led in everything. I can't believe that this time tomorrow I'll be in Green Gables, said Anne on the night before departure. But I shall be. And you, Phil, will be in Bolingbroke with Alec and Alonso. I'm longing to see them, admitted Phil between the chocolate she was nibbling. They really are such dear boys, you know. There's to be no end of dances and drives and general jamborees. I shall never forgive you, Queen Anne, for not coming home with me for the holidays. Never means 3 days with you, Phil. It was dear of you to ask me, and I'd love to go to Bolingbroke someday, but I can't go this year. I must go home. You don't know how my heart longs for it. You won't have much of a time, said Phil scornfully. There'll be 1 or 2 quilting parties, I suppose, and all the old gossips will talk you over to your face and behind your back. You'll die of lonesomeness, child. In Avonlea, said Anne, highly amused. Now, if you'd come with me, you'd have a perfectly gorgeous time. Bolingbroke would go wild over you, Queen Anne. Your hair and your style, oh, everything. You're so different. You'd be such a success, and I would bask in the reflected glory. Not the rose, but near the rose. Oh, do come after all, Anne. Your picture of social triumphs is quite fascinating, Phil, but I'll paint one to offset it. I'm going home to an old country farmhouse, once green, rather faded now, set among leafless apple orchards. There's a brook below and a December fir wood beyond, where I've heard harps swept by the fingers of rain and wind. There is a pond nearby that will be grey and brooding now. There'll be 2 oldish ladies in the house, one tall and thin, one short and fat, and there will be 2 twins, one a perfect model, the other what Mrs. Lynde calls a holy terror. There will be a little room upstairs over the porch where old dreams hang thick, and a big, fat, glorious feather bed, which will almost seem the height of luxury after a boarding house mattress. How do you like my picture, Phil? It seems a very dull one, said Phil with a grimace. Oh, but I've left out the transforming thing, said Anne softly. There'll be love there, Phil. Faithful, tender love, such as I'll never find anywhere else in the world. Love that's waiting for me. That makes my picture a masterpiece, doesn't it? Even if the colours are not very brilliant. Phil silently got up, tossed her box of chocolates away, went up to Anne, and put her arms about her. Anne, I wish I was like you, she said soberly. Diana met Anne at the Comedy station next night, and they drove home together under silent, star-sown depths of sky. Green Gables had a very festal appearance as they drove up the lane. There was a light in every window, the glow breaking out through the darkness like flame-red blossoms swung against the dark background of the haunted wood. And in the yard was a brave bonfire with 2 gay little figures dancing round it, one of which gave an unearthly yell as the buggy turned in under the poplars. Mrs. Harrison's hired boy taught him to do that, and he's been practicing it up to welcome you with, said Diana. Mrs. Lynn said it has worn her nerves to a frazzle. He creeps up behind her, then lets go. He was determined to have a bonfire for you too. He's been piling up branches for a fortnight and pestering Marilla to be let pour some kerosene oil over it before setting it on fire. I guess she did by the smell, though Mrs. Lynde said up to the last that Davy would blow himself and everybody else up if he was let. Anne was out of the buggy by this time, and Davy was rapturously hugging her knees, while even Dora was clinging to her hand. Isn't that a bully bonfire, Anne? Just let me show you how to poke it. See the sparks? I did it for you, Anne, because I was so glad you were coming home. The kitchen door opened, and Marilla's spare form darkened against the inner light. She preferred to meet Anne in the shadows, for she was horribly afraid that she was going to cry with joy. She, stern, repressed Marilla, who thought all display of deep emotion unseemly. Mrs. Lynde was behind her, sonsy, kindly, matronly as of yore. The love that Anne had told Phil was waiting for her surrounded her and enfolded her with its blessing and its sweetness. Nothing, after all, could compare with old ties, old friends, and old Green Gables. How starry Anne's eyes were as they sat down to the loaded supper table. How pink her cheeks, how silver clear her laughter. And Diana was going to stay all night too. How like the dear old times it was. And the rosebud tea set graced the table. With Marilla, the force of nature could go no further. I suppose you and Diana will now proceed to talk all night, said Marilla sarcastically as the girls went upstairs. Marilla was always sarcastic after any self-betrayal. Yes, agreed Anne gaily, but I'm going to put Davy to bed first. He insists on that. You bet, said Davy as they went along the hall. I want someone to say my prayers to again. It's no fun saying them alone. You don't say them alone, Davy. God is always with you to hear you. Well, I can't see him, objected Davy. I want to pray to somebody I can see, but I won't say them to Mrs. Lynde or Marilla. There now. Nevertheless, when Davy was garbed in his grey flannel nightie, he did not seem in a hurry to begin. He stood before Anne, shuffling one bare foot over the other, and looked undecided. Come, dear, kneel down, said Anne. Davy came and buried his head in Anne's lap, but he did not kneel down. Anne, he said in a muffled voice, I don't feel like praying after all. I haven't felt like it for a week now. I didn't pray last night, nor the night before. Why not, Davy? Asked Anne gently. You won't be mad if I tell you, implored Davy. Anne lifted the little grey flannelled body on her knee and cuddled his head on her arm. Do I ever get mad when you tell me things, Davy? No, you never do. But you get sorry and that's worse. You'll be awful sorry when I tell you this, Anne. And you'll be ashamed of me, I suppose. Have you done something naughty, Davy? Is that why you can't say your prayers? No, I haven't done anything naughty. Yet. But I want to do it. What is it, Davy?